Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
I'm even upset for not even being able to save the dogs. Emotionally, that's keeps us not sleeping very well.
A devastating house fire has claimed the lives of 10 dogs in Otter Tail County, all of which had destiny to serve others.
Now an area family is picking up the pieces with a community looking out for them. Valley News Team's Veronica Marshall has this family's emotional story and how you can help.
Teresa McCullough knows service dogs can save lives.
My boy saved me from heart failure. He kept waking me up anytime my oxygen was getting low or anytime my heart wasn't working right. And then we found out that I was in severe mitral failure.
For years, it has been her mission to help others by raising service dogs who can respond to medical events or act as a brace for people with mobility issues.
There just was a need for it. A lot of organizations charge horrible amounts, and that means other people that really need it don't get access. We had people waiting well over 2 years for this.
But now those dreams are gone. McCullough says about 30 minutes after she left the house nearly 2 weeks ago, it went up in flames with her dogs inside.
The whole south end of the house was involved in fire. They made an initial attack and tried to gain entry to the home, but it was too involved to get in there. So it was basically stand back and do a outside firefight.
The fire chief says it took hours to knock down the flames, even with help from other fire districts. By then, the house was a complete loss, and McCullough's service dogs, Zool, Midge, and their puppies, didn't survive.
So many people waited for this litter. And the mother she was a phenomenal mommy.
McCullough says since then, the community has rallied around her, digging through the ashes, dropping off supplies, and helping her plant a memory garden for her dogs. There's even an effort underway to help her get her service dog business running again. But McCullough says that's a wound that still needs time to heal.
One gal that's got a Phoenix Fund to help try to reestablish at least what we do with dogs. I have a lot of healing physically and emotionally before I can do that again.
In Dalton, Veronica Marshall, Valley News Live.
McCullough says the families who had deposits down on the puppies have been refunded their money. The cause of the fire is believed to be an electrical malfunction. For more on this story, including how you can help the family, visit our website, valleynewslive.com.
Certainly noticed that the wind wasn't howling today. Helped make outdoor activity all the more pleasurable. Let's get the latest on what's to come tonight. Hutch?
Well, tonight we've rebounded considerably from where we started our day, with temperatures in the teens for some and in the 20s here in the Red River Valley, including Grand Forks and Fargo. Sunshine really warmed things up into the 50s for most, but notice changes moving in from the west. This evening, showers in our southern counties, and for many of us by tomorrow, a good chance of some rain. The warm weather stays bottled up in the southern portion of the United States, so for this evening we'll be cool, but with increasing clouds nowhere near the 20s that we saw this morning. Enjoy your evening. Changes for a wet Wednesday. I'll have hour-by-hour details on what you can expect there. We'll talk about what you can expect for the big Mother's Day weekend coming up here in just a few moments.
All important.
You bet.
Thanks.
Moorhead police now know the identity of the man who they say robbed a Gate City Bank branch last week. He is 51-year-old Robert Vaughn Evans. Evans does not have a local address and has outstanding warrants out of West Virginia. Police don't believe he's still in this area. Evans was last seen driving a 2007 Chevy Tahoe with Iowa license plates DNL 661. The robbery took place last Wednesday at the bank inside Hornbachers in South Moorhead. The robber walked in and provided a bank employee with a note demanding money and stated that he was armed. He left on foot with an undisclosed amount of money.
Authorities are asking you to keep an eye out for a body camera that was lost during an altercation with a man in a Grand Forks parking lot last night. 33-year-old Jordan Poitras wrestled with police as they tried to arrest him on an outstanding warrant. He was able to climb into a squad car and took off, which you can see on your screen. Police say Poitras then drove onto I-29, where he crossed into the median, crashed into a semi and was killed. Law enforcement investigators say they believe Poitras deliberately crashed into the semi. Today, his wife told us that Jordan was a loving father and he did the best that he could in this life. But it just spiraled downhill leading up to this tragic event.
If you have an individual acting in the manner in which Mr. Poitras was apparently acting and attempting to gain control of an officer's gun, there is no doubt that were he to be able to gain control of that gun, this could have been an epically tragic situation.
Here's a look at the missing body camera. Authorities say it has a lot of valuable evidence on it. Call this number if you have information on its whereabouts, 701-787-8000, or you can drop it off if you have it at the Grand Forks Police Department.
Bemidji police are warning of a new scam, and this time the scammers are going after Beltrami Electric members. Scammers are calling residents, threatening disconnection, and they're demanding payment by phone with a prepaid debit card. The scammers are providing fake employee ID numbers and fake work order numbers and fake truck numbers. If it sounds fishy, it probably is. If this happens to you, you can hang up and call the number printed on your billing statement.
Driving around the valley, you might spot a vehicle with cameras attached to the hood or on the trunk.
But what are the cameras for, and are they even allowed? Valley News Live's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley investigated and has more on our story.
As of right now, we are looking for 1,940 cars.
You might see him lurking around parking lots or just driving down 13th. But Charlie Roldan's cameras aren't so he can stalk you, rather to see if your car should be repoed.
There we go.
That doorbell is music to Roldan's ears, signaling that one of the recently scanned cars is up for repo, meaning Roldan then must verify the year, make, model, color, and VIN number.
If that information matches, then the database automatically generates a repossession order. I can print it right here in the truck. I call the guy in my truck at the time, and I sit on the car, and he comes and recovers the vehicle.
Roldan says he then calls into the sheriff's office or police department, depending on the jurisdiction he's in, to let them know about the vehicle he's taking back to his lot. That way, law enforcement can let the vehicle owner know where to find their ride if they call looking for it.
This is one of the jobs that you really have to love your job to continue to do, because it becomes a lot.
And despite concerns from many in the valley, what Roldan is doing is completely legal.
Law enforcement's cameras will tell you everything about the registered owner. Our cameras simply tell us a date, a time, and if a bank has put it out for repo or if it's wanted by anywhere in the United States.
Adding his software also has the technology to detect if a sex offender's plates are near a school zone and if a vehicle or its plates are stolen.
It's like a daily game of hide and seek that you play.
In Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Fargo police say they don't work with any repo businesses, saying they have a handful of their own license plate scanning vehicles that they use when needed.
The Minnesota Department of Transportation is urging anglers to plan ahead while driving through highway work zones on their way to their favorite fishing spots this weekend. Drivers may encounter lane closures and detours because of construction projects. Some areas of the state are still experiencing flooding. MnDOT is recommending that drivers prepare for slower moving traffic and urging to be attentive in work zones and never enter a roadblock with barriers or cones. To learn more about construction projects, just visit our website, valleynewslive.com, and click on this story.
At first glance, crosswalks are white paint on the asphalt, but according to Minnesota state law, even corners are considered crosswalks. There are 4 kinds of crosswalks: marked and unmarked, and controlled and uncontrolled. Marked crosswalks are the iconic stripes of white paint, while unmarked crosswalks are the implied invisible crosswalks that legally exist at every corner. Meanwhile, controlled crosswalks depend on a traffic signal or a stop sign, while uncontrolled crosswalks do not explicitly force cars to stop. Failure to obey the law is a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 90 days in jail, a $700 fine, or both.
Later on Valley News Live at 6, the importance of the upcoming census in the country.
We have rain showers heading towards the valley as we head into the evening hours. Much of the central and southern plains seeing unsettled weather tonight. In fact, severe weather down south. All details on the timing of showers in your area, how much rain we're thinking, and a look toward the weekend ahead next.